Welcome to the 4G wireless series presentations from NanoCell. So today we will cover a short overview of LTE and EPC. My name is Srikanth and I work with NanoCell Networks. So cellular systems have been evolving and they've been evolving from 1980 onwards. So we had first generation cellular systems based on analog technology, which have now almost always obsolete. And we have 2G, 3G, and we are rolling out 4G wireless systems across the world. 2G wireless systems were extremely important step because that was the first digital cellular systems. The popularity of GSM is very much important in the modern day cellular world. And then we had a gradual evolution to 3G, and now we are at the cusp of 4G, where we would like to get the broadband experience on the cell phone. So one can say there are two major camps in the cellular world, and probably the most important camp these days is the third generation partnership project called 3GPP. 3GPP is instrumental for the evolution of the GSM set of standards. So we've had GSM evolving to GPRS and Edge to provide better data rates, 3G networks which are deployed in developing countries just in the recent little while, and 4G networks based on LTE and LTE advanced technologies. So some of those operators who have invested heavily in 3G continue to use extensions of the 3G technologies like HSPA primarily to provide better data rates with the existing networks and spectrum. 4G networks have been deployed in certain developed markets and is likely to come to the market in developing countries within this decade. One of the important reasons why LTE deployment has accelerated is the fact that 3GPP2 based networks, like in North America or in some parts of Asia, primarily did not have a good 4G candidate. And so while the user base needed the data rate supported by 4G, the standards did not support a natural evolution towards the 4G technology. So this made the deployment of LTE very important for them, especially in light of the competition from candidate technologies like WiMAX. So many of those legacy CDMA operators have also migrated to LTE and LTE advanced technologies, and so we have a common technology base at least for the 4G systems. One of the challenges, of course, in the 4G systems is we still have spectrum which is not harmonious across the globe, so device level compatibility will still be an issue unless we find some interesting ways of solving those problems. So some of the drawbacks in UMTS and HSPA, which are quite well documented, include the high data rate capability, which is kind of affected by the fact that there's a multi-path channel between the transmitter and the receiver, which can affect performance. In addition, there are improvements to spectral efficiency, interference aspects due to the use of CDMA, and the fact that the combination of MIMO and the legacy technologies is not that easy. So this is one of the motivations for the 4G technologies, wherein brand new physical layer technologies as well as a packet core called EPC have been brought in to address this mobile broadband requirement in a very efficient manner. So some of the LTE targets, and as I said, LTE air interface targets and EPC core network targets include data rates and spectral efficiency on the downlink and uplink, certain latency numbers, which involve both air interface and core networks, as well as a common core for a variety of services. So many of these are in place wherever LTE deployments have happened, and we are continuing to evolve to LTE advanced to support higher bit rates as well as lesser latencies. So thank you for listening to this short presentation on the introduction to LTE and EPC. We appreciate your feedback. Please send them to the email below. NanoCell offers a variety of medium through which we can offer training services. Please take a look at our website for all details. Thank you and see you soon.